Today on the Rumors Comedy Cast, Jordan Welwood talks to Damonde Tschritter about the time a Baldwin brother threw an answering machine at him, being upstaged by Tim Allen, and stabbed with a fork by his girlfriend. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, at Rumors Comedy.
Take two. Welcome to Rumors Comedy Cast, episode 24. We got Damonde Tschritter here, first night in town. How you doing, buddy?
I am on cloud nine.
The show just ended.
Actually, it ended like 2 hours ago. We had to wait for these people to clear. The people who pay our salaries to clear.
It's true. These.
So, it's quite the night. So
it was great. And then you can do like a crossfade, maybe like a Star Wars style. Like,
okay,
you can cut in whenever you want.
Okay, so the crazy actress chicks, because I did. There was a point where I dated so many crazy actress chicks that Daryl Lennox told me to go, when we went into a bar, he's like, go sit down the end of that bar by yourself. I'm like, why? He's like, that way I'll know the first chick that comes up to talk to you is the craziest bitch at this bar, right? So
you were the decoy off the hop?
He just knew that, I was just with nuts girls for a while.
Well, we all have a type. You gotta have one or two. And
that was just, had a steady girl, that was right when I started doing comedy.
You gotta start this so you can have
steady
a conversation.
We're just having
We're
a conversation.
already in it, yeah. But it was steady girl, and then I broke up with her and I was in comedy and I ditched her to do comedy, and then it was all crazy chicks. 2 years.
Just up at night.
Just me, crazy chicks, stabbed. I got stabbed in the shoulder.
There's always a stabbing. Did you get hit with a phone too? I feel like whenever there's a domestic dispute, there's always a phone.
No, I got stabbed in the shoulder by a crazy chick with a fork. It only gave me blood blisters. She just 3-prong.
Does that count as a stabbing?
And it does. It's stuck in my leather coat.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do a leather coat. Never mind.
And I had a answering machine thrown at me by I want to say Daniel Baldwin, the Baldwin brother that's the least known and talented, the one who wound up on Celebrity Rehab.
Not even Celebrity Apprentice, just Celebrity Rehab.
No, Celebrity Rehab. I was a kid I was a production assistant director on movies when I started out, and he was on this movie called Night Moves. And I used to have to go and get him from the trailer. And he was on like a coke bender, and I opened they couldn't get him on. I opened the thing, and he threw an answering machine. He's like, I told you to steady fire. And that's not when... This is when answering machines were still made of like wood, like the big ones. No, he didn't take it. It sailed by. Like, I did not look forward to having to go to like Daniel Baldwin's. I didn't want to go near that guy's trailer.
Jeez, right? It's like the shittiest of the brothers is the most.
He was I didn't even know that Baldwin existed when I got the job on this movie. I knew who Alec Baldwin was.
Baldwin? Yeah.
And Stephen Baldwin, with the one from...
He was Biodome.
Backdraft Baldwin?
Backdraft? Yeah. That was Stephen, I think. Or no, that was the dark hair one. He was the blonde one from Biodome.
Okay.
And
the little guy from The Usual Suspects. Not that guy.
Yeah.
That's McManus or whatever his name is. No, he wasn't. Not him. And then this guy. He did this movie called Night Moves with the guy who played let's say it was good. They would go around cutting people's heads off. They could live forever.
Highlander. Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert. Yeah, he was the star chess player. Diane Lane was his wife. Cherry Valance from The Outsiders was his wife on the movie. And then Daniel Baldwin was like this coked out chess nemesis or something. I don't know. I never saw the movie.
He's a method actor.
You can check it out, though. It's out there. It's called Night Moves. Spelled
Night Moves.
K, like night as in a chess game, right?
It's a chess pun.
It's a murder mystery being played out through a chessboard tournament or something. Obviously, nobody's seen it. So,
well, how old were you when you were doing that?
I was 21.
So you're 20, and then when did you start doing stand-up?
I was 26.
Okay, so you had already been involved in film and television.
Yeah, I started out as like a kid acting in some, and then I got into a Canada Film Board movie, and then I met some guys there, and then they had another gig, and they asked me to help. They didn't have a role for me, but I got on as like a assistant director type of, and then they hired me. All of a sudden, I was in Vancouver working on movies and TV shows.
That's unreal.
I thought that's the way to get in, like learn to make movies. I wanted to be like a movie maker.
Yeah.
And so I was on This Boy's Life with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow, yeah.
And DiCaprio was younger than me by like a year. He was just a kid. I didn't know he was going to turn out to be the world's best actor. And De Niro, I'd have to go get him from the trailer. And he never spoke to me.
Yeah.
We walked him down. He did his scene. He walked back. He went to just knock. Mr. De Niro, we're ready for you.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, and I was super intimidated the whole time, right? Because I was like a 20-year-old kid.
They'd have booted you out if you'd been like, well, just here's my script.
Oh, I didn't even have a script at that point. And so then I thought, but I just worked 15-hour days all the time. It was really exciting because I was working on movies.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting a chance to make anything. And then I always thought about stand-up. So then I went to I worked in a snowboard shop selling snowboards while
cool.
I started doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And then we started shooting films and all sorts
of stuff. That's unreal. And you're working on, we were talking about this before, you're currently working on a children's.
I'm working on a kid's monkey dog movie.
Lay it out. How did this come to pass? How did this land in
It's the Air Buddies series, I guess.
Okay. Super popular. I worked at Rogers Video for years. It was like Snow Buddies. It was sold out for weeks on end, like rental-wise. Like people phoning, like off the hook.
Okay, so it's that. So I've never seen one. I know what Air Bud. I know what Air Bud is because I know the director who did the first Air Bud.
Okay.
So there's a talking dog shop in Vancouver where they make these talking dog movies. The franchise comes out of there.
Yeah.
And a kid that I've gone to school with since grade 5. He's my oldest friend.
Mm-hmm.
His dad used to be the producer of Danger Bay. One of CBC's staple shows. This guy's always been in movies through his family. And he was the special effects guy on Stargate.
Oh, wow.
A TV show. And now he puts the mouths on the dogs that talk. He's in the talking dog shop. He's head of their whatever effect. And I guess if a dog has to fly, whatever they got to do, he does all the effects. So
wow.
He knows me. He really likes stand-up. He's like, why don't we do this thing? So we've written a monkey and a dog.
Okay, I thought it was like a monkey dog, like combined. Like
no, it's a monkey and a dog, and it's kind of like a Lethal Weapon. They love it, and monkey is Mel Gibson, dog is Danny Glover.
Yeah,
but you can't kill anyone.
Shit. You can't say that either.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I'm too old for this shit. You got to do all the puns. Like it's like if guys are chasing him, the monkey will he'll eat a banana and then say like, it's time to give these guys the slip, throw it over the shoulder, the bad guy slip. It's all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But that's the talking monkey movie is.
Keep your eyes peeled for that. Monkeys.
Well, the weird thing is when he told me about, he's like, look, we've got Crystal. She was in Night at the Museum, Hangover 2. He's talking about how great, we got this great actress. I'm like, is she blonde, brunette? He's like, it's the monkey. Like, we have the world's greatest acting monkey is already signed
Crystal.
On board.
Yeah.
Crystal, and if people know they're monkeys, they're acting monkey. Crystal is the, so they're talking like we've got the Julia Roberts of monkeys.
And you're gonna be like, I've knocked on Robert De Niro's door. Yeah. I got the Baldwin. Now you're gonna be knocking on the monkey.
I am knocking on a monkey door. I don't know if I've evolved or devolved. I thought I was like getting close. Now I'm finally writing about it. Now I'll be wrangling monkeys. But I thought for 10 minutes we were talking about an actress, and then I finally I wasn't that impressed when all we got is
I'm gonna get in with this monkey.
But the monkey's supposed to be pretty good. So now I write scripts. I punch them up from different people send me script drafts, and I punch them up, and then I write my own projects that keep getting optioned by Brent Butt's company will option a TV show, and then they either get made or they don't, and then they get to a pilot, but nothing's made it all the way through the thing. Fair enough. I'm getting close.
It's a numbers game. It's kind of, isn't it? Like you're eventually something will hit.
I think it's like when you start stand-up. You do a bunch of amateur nights, then you do some bit of pro, so they start to pay you, but I'm not a headliner yet.
You gotta get those credits, right?
I don't know. I'm just close.
Yeah.
You just got to keep doing it. I don't have all the bolts open yet. But
in the meantime, you're killing it stand-up wise. Yeah. Tonight's sold out show, Tuesday night. How did you think it went? Did you enjoy yourself? First night in town?
I enjoyed myself. I always enjoy the first night when I come to any comedy club.
Yeah. Why is that?
It's all new. I haven't seen the place. Even if I've been there before, it's all the first night. I feel like, I'm talking about whatever comes to mind, whatever order I want to do it. And then when you're here for a week, I'm here 2 weeks, and on that last Saturday, I'll be sick of myself. You know when you have an uncle who comes and tells you the same story every Christmas, like,
you're your own
we gotta
uncle.
hear this one again.
Yeah.
That's what you feel like. You've heard everything you've said. Well, there's some stuff that, as you go along, you're gonna have some fun, but there's times where you're just, if you hear yourself talk every night for an hour.
Yeah. Have you gotten the thing? I wanted to ask you, you're doing 2 shows in a row. I just had this recently where I haven't done it a lot, headline a double night,
Yeah.
like a double header. But I got to do it a couple weeks ago, and then the second show, I got that thing where I was like, did I already say this? Did I already tell this joke? And obviously because I was in my head maybe a little bit too much, but like, when does that go away? Do you still get that? Does that like?
I
do you have
don't
any tricks
get that.
for dealing with it? Have you ever actually told the same joke twice?
No, never
No.
told the same joke.
It feels it's like a deja vu thing.
I have never told the same joke twice. I had that feeling when I first had to do what you're saying, so I would try and like, however I did the first show, I'd lay it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it this way, and then I'm going to do it that way again. So I couldn't screw up and have that thing. And then after a while, you just can remember jokes so well that you know what's there. There's the odd time where I had to do 3 shows in Portland, and the third one got a little tricky.
Okay,
and
yeah.
you had a couple of drinks or whatever. And the only time I know that I have I wasn't sure if I was going to do the same joke or not, was a guy in a back room rolled up a hash spliff at a yacht. This is like when I was early headlining, and there was a guy who had this Afghani hash. If you smoke real hash, it doesn't really affect your head.
Okay.
But this was some deadly finger rolled stuff. And so I thought I'd be
Straight from
fine.
the
And
Taliban.
nobody could get up off the couch, so they had to actually pull me up. And they're like, you're headlining, you got to go on stage. I'm like, give me those sunglasses. So I put them on, and I walked through the curtain, and right away I'm like, I knew I was a dead man. I'm like, I can't remember anything. I'm like, I'm dead. So I told the crowd, I'm like, listen, there's been a hash incident. If I repeat anything, and it was one of the greatest shows, because I was like, have I talked about this yet? And they're like, no, you're doing it. They cheered me on.
Yeah.
So what turned out to, what could have gone bad, turned out well, because I didn't, if I tried to hide it, I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
And I
you'd
never,
have been like, this guy's kind of weird, but.
and I never go on stage high.
Yeah.
That was one experience where it just kind of happened, and never before, never again.
You got to try it once, and then, That's great that it worked out for your benefit, but has there been what's the worst where you're like, that gig sticks out in your mind as like the worst gig? It's a little new segment here, Rumors Comedy Cast, worst gig.
There's this comedy club in Winnipeg called Rumors.
Yeah, okay.
Tough gig. Tough gig. What one sticks out the most out of any like real pro
gig, or maybe even just slugging it out in the minors?
The first pro gig I did was the Tabor Arms in Prince George.
Okay.
So I had been doing amateur nights in Vancouver. I don't know how many I'd done. I think I was at it for a little bit, and this guy offered me to open for him, come to Prince George to do 20 minutes, and you get $100. And I was like, I'm a pro comic.
Yeah.
Boom, yes, of course I'll do it. And I only had ever done 5 minutes at that point, but I figured I'll write 15 on the way up. The 5 was killing. I had
Do some crowd work, some crowd work.
I had all this stuff about riding the bus that was just killing. It was just destroying. And I was like it's the new amateur guy. It was like the
guy to
like
watch.
that guy. So I thought I'll write it on the way. So I got up there, and the first thing I learned is that not all shows were in a comedy club. Like I didn't know that it was a lager steak night with comedy.
Oh wow!
So we went in. It was all these Prince George. It was 9 hours. We drove from Vancouver. The guy wouldn't let me roll down my window because it distracted him, this older comic guy. I couldn't turn on the air conditioning because it ate into his gas money. There was all these rules. So got up there. As I went to the stage, they were already chanting, "Fuck you, city boy." And I got up on stage, and I did my killer 5 minutes of riding a bus, and nothing, not a laugh. Both chambers were empty. I came to a gunfight, shot everything out. 5 minutes in, and I was like, I had 15 minutes to go or I wouldn't get paid.
Yeah.
Time. So I started talking. A guy threw an ashtray at me.
Jesus.
I made it to 20. I just told a bunch of stories about my uncle. I went into Gabe Kaplan, welcome back Carter mode, I guess. Did the time, came off, started writing like crazy because we had to do a show the next night in Quesnel. But I learned a lot that night, right? And that was, for your pro debut, I don't know if anybody's had that tough
and then
smack in the face. You'd think I would quit.
Yeah, but you went and started writing again for the next one instead of just coming off like shell-shocked.
I was shell-shocked for a minute. I sat down, but he was on stage.
Worse.
I was already writing. I was sitting at the table writing. I'm like, I'm going to need to write 15 good minutes by tomorrow. And the next night, the show went well.
Yeah, okay.
So an amazing kind of turnaround.
You can bounce back from it right away.
You can, but I just thought, that's a moment of thinking that I got this licked.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've done 5, whatever. I can do 20.
Yeah.
You seen the 5 I'm doing?
It
was the wrong attitude.
Buses in this town. It's like, you're like, uh-oh.
That's what stand-up does to you, though. Every time you think you're the best, or you got it like licked.
Yeah.
You're gonna get another kick in the pills and taught a lesson, right?
Yeah.
That's the nature of the beast.
Oh man! So from that moment to now, then what has been like kind of the crown jewel of a show, or maybe a credit or something that you've done? That's
what's been my favorite show, or like a crown jewel of a show.
Just like I was slugging it out with these chanting trucker guys, and now I'm performing here. Like, where was it kind of the moment when you're like, okay? I
think the moment where I liked it the most was when I did the first time I went to do the improv in Hollywood, because I was on, like, the first thing I ever saw for stand-up comedy was Evening at the Improv.
Yeah, okay.
So I was on the stage of the first thing I saw, and now I was in, like, down in Hollywood, had representation, and I was doing, like, shows on a stage that I thought was, like, the biggest comedy club. Yeah, I had seen everybody from, like, David Spade to, like, all these guys' first early sets on this Evening at the Improv thing that I watched. So I got there, and I was like, wow, the first night, like, I was so excited. So I did the set, and it went great. Then I got a bunch of meetings now. I thought it was all great. And then I was there, like, I don't know, 2 nights later. It was all ready to like, oh, I'm going to go up, and all this great stuff was happening. And Tim Allen showed up.
Okay.
And they decided Tim Allen was going to go do a spot.
Okay.
And they decided to put him on right in front of me.
Yeah.
So Tim Allen was still surprisingly pacing back and forth I'm like, doesn't that ever go? He's like, nope, never, whatever. Yeah. And then he went up and he did his set, and he was trying out some stuff, and this was after Home Improvement, all this stuff. And then he did his whatever catchphrase, and then he finished, and the entire club seemed to walk out and go for a smoke or whatever. And I went up, there was like, from a packed club to... It felt like 6 people.
Oh, man.
And then me like, so, anybody ride the bus? Right back to where I started, right? Like,
you fall back into
right back down to like my next night, thinking it was going to be great. A bunch of agents to like, no.
Oh, you see his truckers chanting?
No, like... Tim Allen just mopped the floor with me and left. So, but a lot of that stuff. Doing a show, and then Robin Williams just showing up and going on after me was pretty cool when I started. Like, in Vancouver, I didn't know at the Urban Well that... Like, Robin Williams would show up, Kevin Nealon. I didn't know starting out that was rare. I kind of thought it was normal.
Yeah.
But there was one little window of a year where comedy just was right at this right place.
And Vancouver, I think, is known for, like, being a place where there's a lot of big names there, and there's a lot of, West Coast people that'll pop in. And I've heard a lot of stories just about it being kind of like a great hub for that kind of thing.
It's a pretty good comedy community, and it's got... Because I don't know, people there are just about being funny. They're not. Yeah. But it led to whoever was in town shooting movies or whatever. Mm-hmm. Adam Sandler was in town. He would come down. That's before I was there. But I was like, after Adam Sandler used to come down. Rob Williams dropped down. Whoever was in town would drop down and do stand up because it was it was just a hub to hang out and do stand. And those guys that do that are the guys that are.
Legit.
The real stand-ups drop down and do. They can't not do it.
Yeah.
It would be easy. Robin Williams wasn't being paid. He just wanted to come down and do some time.
Yeah, for sure.
Zach Galifianakis spent 2 years there.
Wow. Yeah.
Working on some terrible sci-fi show or something. He had
I'm not even familiar with this.
He's on a show with Eliza Dushku.
Okay, from she was in...
This is around when the Red Sox won the World Series. So that guy, Zach Galifianakis, who's now one of the biggest comedy stars in the world, was just down doing fives with us all the time.
And he was a huge name just in stand-up, like when the Purple Onion came out. I think that was like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, so this is before. So he was just a guy around doing he was a guy who had. So when Paul Meyerhog first saw him, I was like, well, "You guys know that guy?" Because he had done the some snow movie where he's
Out Cold.
Out Cold.
He gets his dick stuck in the hot tub.
Never saw it, but Paul Meyerhog saw it, and that was like his favorite movie. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you know that guy."
Lee Majors is in that, yeah.
It's Lee Majors. So,
yeah, he's like they try and shut down.
So just guys like that, starting out. Seth Rogen's there as a kid doing shows, all that sort of. So there's lots of guys in Vancouver's always had a pretty good scene. So
So now that you're going to be here for the next week and a half, what do you want to do? Like you've been to your first time when here was for a wedding. You were saying, yeah.
So what do I want to do while I'm here?
Yeah. So did you already like see everything, do everything?
My buddy that I got married, he's gone. I never I'll go out a bit, but I also brought a thing. I'm going to probably write a movie while I'm here. I got 2 weeks, and I don't have a lot of like. I don't have all my distraction, my like colleagues, friends, my girlfriend. I live all that stuff. So I'm just gonna. I got some notes. I'm gonna start slapping on the wall, write a map, and by the time I leave, I should have an outline for a feature, and then I'll write it through summer. I'll do all the dialogue.
Wicked.
So my plan is to have that done by the time I'm gone.
And my plan is to hassle you to write a part for me.
Oh, well, yeah, we can write a part in there for you. I've only got a theory about what it's about at this point. So,
the groundwork for it.
Yeah, we could probably do that. So that's what I sort of try and do in the day. I'll try and do something. Although, you know what? I could wind up watching 7 seasons of Mad Men. I have no idea if laziness is going to kick in or if...
This is day one plans.
This is day one plans. I got big plans.
We believe in you. You can get it done.
That's usually the way I start to do something. Like, I'm kind of here with a bit of like, it's like the guy who decides he's going to work out really hard for 2 weeks, get back in shape. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Well, I believe in you. I think you can do it.
I think we'll see. We'll see.
Your Twitter, just so people can get at you on Twitter when they're in town.
Shridvision.
That
starts with a T. So my last name's Tschritter, so I just went Shridvision.
We'll get a graphic up there for you.
You can tweet. I'm not a huge Twitter guy, but I send stuff out here and there.
Cool. Yeah, me either. But you can check me out, Jordan Welwood, 1L. At Twitter, and thanks for coming in, buddy.
My pleasure, and come on down. It's a great club, and it's one of the most fun places you're going to play in the country. So.
And this guy killed it, and he killed it tonight, and he's going to be doing that all week. So come check out the shows.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, 100%.